distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to speak on the occasion of this conference to mark the 40th anniversary of the existence of International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, and its two predecessors, ILCA and ILRAD. On behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, I would like to warmly congratulate ILRI's board, management, and staff for 40 years livestock research. Livestock research by ILRI and its partners is behind products and practices, helping millions of people in developing countries produce food and generate income. It's creating new tools and evidence to help decision makers tackle the risks and grasp benefits caused by rising demand for livestock food and fast-changing livestock system in developing countries. And it is providing game-changing options to guide and fine-tune new development models for future livestock production systems so that they can provide sustainable, equitable, and resilient future for all people. Ladies and gentlemen, growth in demand for animal products is projected to increase significantly, particularly in countries that are currently classified as low income or emerging middle income, such as Ethiopia. Along with such impressive growth trends comes the opportunity for the livestock sector to contribute significantly to meeting development challenges. Ethiopia typifies the challenge and opportunities for the livestock sector in Africa and beyond. In this regard, I am pleased to share on this occasion some of the features of livestock production and consumption in the country that is exemplified those faced by many around the world. I will also elaborate some of the strategies the country is pursuing to take full advantage of this important sector as examples that may also be relevant elsewhere. In Ethiopia, like in many African and some Asian countries, agriculture is the mainstay of the economy and considered a priority by the government for stimulating overall economic growth, reducing poverty, and achieving food security. The agriculture sector of Ethiopia accounts for about 42% of GDP and between 80 to 85% of employment. Within agriculture, the livestock subsector provides a unique opportunity for further development. The livestock sector contributes almost half of the agriculture GDP and 16 to 19% of the foreign exchange earnings of the country. Appropriate growth of the livestock sector can also mitigate potential environmental and human health challenges. With a rapidly growing population, increasing urbanization, and rising incomes, domestic demand for meat, milk, and eggs is expected to increase 2 to 3 times in the foreseeable future. Furthermore, the country's geographic location offers substantial opportunities for exports to earn foreign exchange from livestock products, especially red meat to the Gulf and within Africa, as well as leather, honey, and other livestock products to Europe and elsewhere. Perhaps most importantly, livestock has great potential to reduce rural poverty since it supports the livelihood of about 8% of rural people. Moreover, livestock performs multiple functions in the rural household economy. Besides employment, livestock provides protein-rich food, income for everyday expense and social obligations, near liquid assets, store of wealth for savings, manure for crop production and soil fertility, and transport. Livestock development also has the potential to positively impact urban consumers through lower animal products price. These facts are being emphasized in Ethiopia's Growth and Transformation Plan and the Livestock Master Plan developed with ILRI inputs to achieve the GDP. The government has identified the livestock sector as the next driver of the agriculture growth in the country. The government of Ethiopia will also continue to advance the Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program agenda of the African Union. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethiopia's GTP and the CAADP agenda implementation require working together with development partners as well as with national, regional, and international research for development institutions such as ILRI and the beneficiaries themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me to say a few words on ILRI and Ethiopia. Ethiopia has generously hosted ILRI and its predecessor ILCA since 1974. Together with innumerable partners, investors, and development agencies, working with Ethiopian counterparts has resulted in many livestock research for development outputs. During the early years, research on forage, animal feeds, and nutrition, animal genetics and breeding, pastoral livelihoods, value chains, animal disease, land use, and livestock policies were among the key research areas. ILRI Ethiopia has a forage gene bank that conserves almost 19,000 accessions of forage from over 1,000 species. The diverse collection of forage grass, legumes, and fodder tree species includes the world's major collection of African grass and tropical highland forage. The acquisition of improved forage germplasm from ILRI's forage gene bank and the application of modern tools to improve the local genotype, as well as better feed options using crop residues, continue to offer feed solution to livestock keepers in the country. A notable recent example is the work that is contributing to the containment of a serious fungal disease of Napier grass, fast becoming a backbone feed for Ethiopian smallholder dairy system. Today, ILRI's agenda in the country, working with Ethiopian and global partners, involves some 15 different research projects spanning forage and feed, natural resource management, harnessing animal genetic diversity, and transforming livestock value chains. In particular, ILRI and its partner research is organized around sustainable intensification of mixed crop livestock systems through increasing productivity and value chain development, reduce vulnerability through market development, risk mitigation, and livelihood diversification. One of the highlights of the long-standing engagement with Ethiopia is ILRI and ILCA's contribution to capacity building and development, which has included providing training on specific livestock-related issues to thousands of participants from Ethiopia and Africa-wide, and the graduate fellowship program, which has enabled several hundred Ethiopians to obtain PhD and MSc degrees. Many of the alumni from such program are today providing leadership in the Ethiopian agriculture sector and beyond. Recently, ILRI has supported the Ministry of Agriculture to develop its livestock master plan to inform development support and investment planning in the sector, and to help ensure the goals and targets of Ethiopian growth and transformation plan are met. The livestock master plan is a series of 5-year development plans or roadmaps for the key livestock value chains and production systems within each value chain, with specific visions and targets, challenges and strategies, and combined investment in technology and policy interventions with expected outputs, outcomes, and impacts. The Livestock Master Plan roadmap will be implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture together with other ministries and agencies at the federal and regional levels, as well as with the private sector and development partners, with technical backstopping from research organizations. Another major contribution of ILRI has been to smallholder dairy production in Ethiopia. Between 1993 and today, ILRI jointly with the now Ethiopian Institute of Agricultural Research and Ethiopia's Ministry of Agriculture has undertaken technology, socio-economic, human nutrition, and policy research to generate critical technologies and evidence which form the basis of development program, policy, and legislative change that shapes the current program institutional and policy environment of dairy development in Ethiopia. An excellent example, the ILRI IPMS and ILRI Lives projects work on artificial insemination using hormone-induced synchronization to increase the conception and birth rates of dairy cows in collaboration with government institutions. This work represents a milestone development and is already informing a current Ministry of Agriculture dairy development campaign to radically increase the number of crossbred cows producing milk in Ethiopia. This work has been recognized by the government of Ethiopia and is held up as exemplary in the region and beyond in terms of the approach to transforming livestock chain. Ladies and gentlemen, the contribution of ILRI and its partners towards improving livestock productivity cannot be overemphasized. Having come this far and having contributed immensely to livestock productivity in Ethiopia and on the continent for the last 40 years, the time has come to consolidate the good lessons learned into a strategy heralding an era that would contribute greatly to the emerging livestock revolution in Africa. It is gratifying to note that ILRI has already developed a 10-year strategy, 2013 to 2022, with the overarching theme of livestock research for food security and poverty reduction. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that this theme is befitting the current situation now more than ever before, when many governments are making efforts to reduce the hungry by securing food for all. The strategy focuses on pertinent issues for ensuring food and nutritional security towards the betterment of livelihoods for the global poor. I would like to invite you to join me in partnering with ILRI to actualize this strategy. This can only be attained by strengthening the many actors who must be involved and on facilitating partnerships. Ladies and gentlemen, building on the past and looking forward, some of the challenging areas I would like to flag for this conference relate to the potential opportunities presented by growth in demand for livestock products. Research has to play its role in coming up with opportunities for the following: to address sustainable intensification, notably of smallholder crop livestock system, which include improving productivity through research solutions for animal feed, breeds, and health, improving market participation of smallholder producers, as well as other in the value chain, traders, processors, and the like, especially women and youth, and presenting new business opportunities, addressing food safety and zoonotic issues, ensuring appropriate policies and institutions provide an enabling environment, to mitigate risk, especially but not only for the most vulnerable pastoral communities who are also environmental and biodiversity stewards, through options for adaptation to climate change, opportunities for market participation, addressing livestock disease threats, opportunities for payments for ecosystem service. Finally, I wish you all fruitful deliberation on the critical opportunities facing livestock research for development, so that the livestock sector can play its role in helping to achieve economic growth, poverty reduction, sustainable food, and nutritional security and healthy lives for all our peoples. I thank you.